There is a small, isolated farming town in southern Brazil where the impossible happens every single day. Walking down its quiet, dusty streets, you will quickly notice something deeply unsettling. Everywhere you look, you see twins, blonde, blue-eyed children playing in pairs. Out of every 5 pregnancies in this remote settlement, 1 results in twins, a rate so unnaturally high that it defies all statistical and biological logic. For decades, the residents of Cândido Godói believed it was just a strange quirk of nature, perhaps something in the local water or the soil. But the truth hidden in their history is far more sinister. Because in the 1960s, a well-dressed German man who called himself Rudolf arrived in their community. He claimed to be a veterinarian and a physician, eagerly offering strange medical treatments, mysterious pills, and regular checkups specifically to pregnant women. But this man was not a simple farm doctor. He was one of the most wanted war criminals on the entire planet, Dr. Josef Mengele, the infamous Angel of Death from Auschwitz. And while the world believed the Nazi regime was completely destroyed in the ashes of Berlin, Mengele may have continued his twisted genetic experiments right here, deep in the South American countryside. Today, we are going to uncover the chilling mystery of the Nazi Ratlines, the secret Reich of the tropics, and the terrifying legacy left behind in a town that history tried to forget. While the Allied forces focused on the bloody European theater, a silent and dangerous game of diplomatic chess was unfolding in America's own backyard. In Brazil, a massive nation with deep-rooted immigrant communities, the cultural ties to the Axis powers were undeniable. Across southern regions and misty mountain cities, entire colonies celebrated German, Italian, and Japanese heritage with a fervor that deeply alarmed Washington. The country's leader, Getulio Vargas, a pragmatic president with strong authoritarian leanings, played a brilliant but perilous double game. His regime openly flirted with fascist ideologies, maintaining highly lucrative trade with Nazi Germany while keeping the United States at arm's length. For a terrifying moment in history, the U.S. government feared their massive southern neighbor would formally join the Axis, handing Hitler a direct military foothold in the Americas. It was only through intense diplomatic pressure, massive financial investments, and the tragic sinking of civilian merchant ships that Brazil finally declared war on Germany. But the groundwork had already been laid. The ideological seeds were planted, and the high-ranking Nazi elite knew exactly what that meant. If the Third Reich fell, there was a vast, tropical continent across the Atlantic where they could simply vanish into the crowd. When Berlin finally fell in May 1945, the world celebrated the end of the nightmare. But for a select group of SS officers and high-ranking Nazi scientists, the end of the war was merely the signal to execute their ultimate escape plan. They utilized a highly organized and heavily funded network of smuggling routes known as the Ratlines. With the quiet assistance of sympathetic diplomats, corrupt port officials, and even certain factions within European institutions, thousands of war criminals were issued forged passports and safe passage across the Atlantic. Recently declassified FBI and CIA documents reveal a chilling narrative that was kept hidden from the American public for decades. Intelligence reports from the late 1940s detail frantic sightings of ghostly German U-boats breaching the icy waters off the desolate coast of Patagonia in Argentina. Long after the official surrender, these submarines, did not carry ordinary sailors. They were heavily suspected to be loaded with stolen gold, looted European assets, and the very architects of the Third Reich. From the remote, unmonitored shores of Argentina, it was dangerously easy for these high-value fugitives to cross the porous borders into the dense, forgiving landscapes of southern Brazil. The Ratlines were so ruthlessly effective that the most hunted men on Earth simply traded their military uniforms for tailored suits, stepping off cargo ships into a sun-drenched continent where nobody asked questions about their dark past. Once in South America, the man responsible for the most horrific medical atrocities of the 20th century did not spend his days cowering in a dark cave. Josef Mengele lived a shockingly comfortable life. Protected by a wealthy network of sympathizers, he moved freely between Argentina, Paraguay, and eventually Brazil. He attended social gatherings, managed a farm, and for a time, even lived under his real name. International intelligence agencies, including the relentless agents of the Mossad, spent years hunting him. But the sheer vastness of the South American continent provided the ultimate shield. He was never brought to justice, reportedly dying peacefully of a stroke while swimming off the Brazilian coast in 1979. But the mystery of Cândido Godói remains open. Was the explosion of blonde, blue-eyed twins in that small, isolated farming town just an unbelievable genetic anomaly? Or was it the final, twisted success of the Angel of Death, proving that the shadows of the Third Reich stretched much further than the history books claim? We may never know the absolute truth, but the echoes of the past are still walking those dusty streets today. If this deep dive into the shadows of history made you question the official narrative, hit the like button to help us expose the truth. To uncover more classified secrets, forgotten files, and the mysteries that history books try to ignore, make sure to subscribe to Echoes of the Past. We want to hear your thoughts on this dark chapter. Do you believe the twin town of Cândido Godói is just a bizarre natural anomaly, or the final successful experiment of the Angel of Death? Let us know in the comments below. Stay vigilant, trust nothing, and we will see you in our next investigation.